Hi Scorpio. Happy full moon. We are using a new deck for the first time. Instead of using the Rider-Waite, we're using the Universal Weight. I'm here in Denmark. The Scorpio full moon is now, if you're in the States. And I have a bunch of astrology and some notes to talk to you about, but we'll do that in the extended. I just wanted to do some intuitive reading first. So first up we have the 5 of Wands and the 4 of Wands. The upheaval within not just home, but within the peace that surrounds you when your home is doing well. So it's not just that things are uprooted within the family, the home, within your, what's supposed to be your grounding, right? Your circle, your friend group, but also there is the effect of that, which is usually just you feeling very uprooted from everything and not feeling. When that 4 of Wands is messed with, we're left feeling like we don't fit anywhere. We lose our grounding when we don't fit. The thing with Scorpios is that although you are very independent, there is a need to be held within something, right? A friend group, a family. But this moon is making you want to run away. And be careful. As I just voice noted, a Scorpio rising friend of mine, usually when we run from something, we run towards something else that is not good for us. When we're running away from things, what we find on that journey is usually not positive, because the running in and of itself is the issue. And of course it feels like that right now. Like, I don't want to deal with this. This is not my fault. The things that are being revealed are about other people. It's not about me. I've always known this stuff. I always knew what now seems so obvious, because everyone has come out and expressed themselves as they really, feel. You've seen, some of you, the worst of people, especially Scorpio rising. That 5 of Wands being the first card out. It's chaos, it's mayhem. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. So instead of running to something because you're running away from something else, what about getting really fixed? What about getting really stubborn about yourself? Maybe the most illuminating thing about a Scorpio full moon is that you're the only one who's really going to put in the work for you. And perhaps the benefit of that 5 of Wands moment, whatever it is, even if it's ongoing, the realization you've had because of that moment, perhaps the benefit of it is that you can truly settle in or resign yourself to the fact that it's on you. You've got to do it. No one is going to do it for you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work to keep you staying stable, financially grounded. None of it. Only you. And I think this 2 of Wands speaks to that as well. Running away because I'm all by myself anyway. Or the cards are like, maybe stay. Maybe don't run away from anything or towards anything else. Maybe just get very fixed on your bag. Because it really does seem to help a lot more than the people around you who are now disappointing you, who perhaps for a very long time have been either trying to control you with obligation, family, commitment. There's some hold that these people think they have on you, and it's all just come unraveled. And there's nothing that could have prepared you for it. Definitely not this reading, because the moon is going to do what the moon does. The best part about you is that you react honestly, and you have reacted honestly. And now, to keep your mind from playing tricks on you in the aftermath of this unraveling, here you have the reading. 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Those first 4 cards to me are like, okay, this is the temperature. This is what's happening right now. 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles is, you know, you really do deserve. Ooh, I like all of this. Look at all this major arcana all on top of each other. You really do deserve a lot more credit, a lot more abundance, a lot more love, a lot more freedom. There's a big freedom push here. It's very obvious to me. The energy coming off of you is like, I just need to be away from all this. I deserve to be away from all this. I deserve to... When you understand the truth of what you're dealing with, especially when it comes to people who have been kind of saddling you with obligation left and right, when you understand that you're actually on your own, perhaps the productive way to use that 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands energy is to apply it to yourself. Not running away from anything, but more like, I deserve more than this. There's a whole world out there that I haven't seen, that I haven't lived in. You changing your environment is not you running away. You running into a destructive relationship, back to a destructive ex, back into a destructive pattern, that's running away. You changing your environment, that's just you sticking to your 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles advice. This is about you now. If you do it for yourself, perfect. Now on this journey of, you know, the honesty is put before you, you know exactly what you're dealing with. On this journey of now becoming free, is it possible to find love? Yeah, of course. Of course, but that's very different. That's very different than running into a codependency after running from another one. So on this journey of now, it's on me, it's on my back, I have to do it for myself. On the journey of realizing this and processing it, is it possible to meet someone who's also at that point in their life? Absolutely. But also that Lover's card, let's not, you know, excuse me, let's not keep our blinders on here. The Lover's card is way more than just, you know, love making its way into your life. It's protection, it's companionship, it's the spring unfolding right into summer. It's you finding your place this summer in a group, in a relationship, in friendships where you feel protected. You know, this angel kind of has its arms out and is blessing this union and keeping them safe. And it's very reminiscent of the Devil card, except that the motif, you know, the lightness of the card is different. There's no chains around these people. There's no beast waiting in the corner to devour them if they try to move, right? This is open, free. I think that's why it has such a Gemini association, is because it's so open, it's so free, it's like the air. Whereas what you've left behind, 5 of Wands, 4 of Wands, this dismantling of something that you thought was very concrete, and actually you believed that it was your grounding. Now you have to reassemble those beliefs in a different way. The pieces are the same, but you have to put them together differently. Because the grounding that you thought you needed, which is why you were hanging on to the volatile, destructive, toxic situation, the grounding that you thought it brought you, the cards are so clear that that's grounding now that you need to give yourself, and that grounding doesn't look the way you thought it looked. I think for a lot of you, excuse me, that grounding is so close to feeling stuck. you know, there's like a positive way to be grounded and a negative way. And I think you've been associating grounding with being negative for so long. Like, I don't want to get stuck, but you were stuck, and now this thing has happened. And remember, the Jupiter Uranus conjunction is still happening across from you in your sign of relationship, Scorpio rising. And it brings the truth out. And Jupiter's like, listen, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it big. We're going to do it so you understand, so you can get it through your head. And let's make some sense of this. There's a whole wide world out there that has nothing to do with these relationships and these people and the betrayal that you may feel from them. And yet you have kept yourself locked into this because you felt some obligation. And also internally, there was this insecurity, like you felt like you needed it. But now things get to the point where it's like, not only do I not need this, I think this might actually be detrimental for me. For the people around you, they're like, yeah, we've known this for a while. We've been trying to tell you this for a while. But that's okay. Now you understand. And now you look to yourself for that stability. That's the journey you're on now. How do I find that? What was out here that I needed to deal with XYZ bullshit for? How do I find that within me? And what is the card? What do the cards say? What is that Jungian advice to you? What are the archetypes then that are put forward? Judgment, the world, the fool, the lovers. Be honest with yourself. You know, what do you lack that keeps you from having that faith in yourself, that you could be your own grounding, that you could be your own family, that you can be your own stability? Be honest, change those things. It's better than taking bullshit, right? Once you are the gravity center, excuse me, of your life, does it really matter if you're here or there? Then your plans to travel make sense. Then your plans to leave make sense. Sure, go where you want then, because you're untethered, right? And that's, I think, really important for you. A lot of the hostility that you've been dealing with is just people not being able to accept the fact that you don't want to be tethered to them. They don't want your love unless they can own it. They don't want your love unless they can obligate you with it. And it's so unfair because you have so much independence in you and so much fire in you, and you want so badly to go and, you know, do your thing, but constantly you've allowed yourself to be kept back almost like out of pity, you know. But the Judgment card is so harsh. The Judgment card is like, in the next 2 weeks, you're going to start to have this realization that like your ego has been getting the best of you. What the fuck do you mean? Like, you're keeping yourself back for them. You're keeping yourself back because you're scared. You can say that it's for them. You can say that it's because you feel, you know, familial obligation, marital obligations, parental obligations, sibling obligations, employee obligation. You can say all that. But really, the real reason is because you don't want to stand in that spotlight by yourself. A lot of people don't understand this about you. You have a very hard time. There's a shyness, like an innate shyness to you. You want a group of people to win with you. You don't want to be by yourself on this journey. But baby, like Roberta Sparrow told Donnie Darko, every living person dies alone. You, of all people, should understand that. The embodiment of death. This is a singular journey. Yes, it is really nice to have people. Yes, it is beautiful to have family. It is beautiful to have friendships. It's beautiful to have relationships. But none of those things can substitute this singular journey. None of those things will ever change the fact that this is your journey that you're on alone, and that your decisions are yours alone, and that your decisions cannot be made in relation to other people. It never works out the way you think it's going to, because after a while you start feeling like people are not being grateful enough for the sacrifices that you've made for them. And in their mind, they're thinking, oh, you want to be like this. You're not actually making any sacrifices for us. So when you start to do your own thing, which is what you really want to do, now those people feel betrayed, because were you lying then or are you lying now? Well, The truth is you weren't lying at any point. You just felt obligated. And I think people are really offended when they realize that sometimes, most of the time, you do things out of obligation instead of because you really want to. And when they realize this, they're deeply hurt because they don't want you to just do it. They want you to want to do it. Sorry. King of Wands, Queen of Wands. Power. When you take back your power, things make sense. Whether you're taking your power back from your parents, whether you're taking your power back from a relationship, whether you're taking your power back from an authority figure, as soon as you take back your power, you meet other people who are also in their power. That's what you want. So that's coming up really, really strong. Okay? Very strong. Now, because it's a full moon, it's, the reading is going to be intense. It's a lot of major arcana, but the other thing is that it's going from you feeling pretty hopeless and helpless in a situation, even unsafe perhaps, to feeling like, resigning yourself to feeling abandoned, wanting to then abandon, wanting to run away. And as the next 30 days progress, as we progress more into Taurus season, as the sun really sits across from you in that house of relationships, you begin to understand that your own relationship with yourself has been corrupted by whatever this Five of Wands energy is, by whatever has caused all this disruption. And your relationship with yourself, especially your relationship with trusting yourself, right? When it comes to taking care of you and being there for yourself emotionally, these fundamental needs that you may have put on others because it was easier for them to take care of that for you, or vice versa, they've been putting all their emotional needs on you. You realize now none of this is your job and it's not their job either. So there's a lot of emotional independence coming through here, which I don't think that you get to without a fight with Scorpios. I don't think that you get to even broach that subject without a lot of feelings being hurt on both sides. But when you come out of this, mid-May, you feel really strong. You feel very powerful. You've had some time to digest this. You've had some time to sit with the honest truth and let it sting you, wherever you've been cut. And you come to a place of, I really can do this. This abundance, it's meant for me, and it's really only meant for me. And I can choose to share it or not, but first and foremost, I need to give to myself. And the summer becomes this beautiful exploration of you giving to yourself. This abundance that is naturally attracted to you, that just falls in your lap. You want to share it, but you want to share it with yourself first. And that's a great conclusion to come to, because the scary part about from now until the beginning, first week of May, the scary part is that you can get stuck in this first row of cards. So reliving the Five of Wands, reliving whatever happened. Four of Wands, feeling very disrupted and not being able to find your footing, right? Not being able to come back to equilibrium after whatever it is blow up has happened. It might have happened a few days ago. It might be happening right now. Three of Wands, just that need to run away. You're in a circumstance that you can no longer take. You have plans. You can see it out in front of you. The sea is shining out there before you. Okay, progressively less wands. You had 5, and then you have 4, then you have 3, then you have 2. Okay. But then when you get to the end, you only have 1, baby, but you don't need more than 1. Wait, let me go back. Let's go in order. So 3 of Wands is, I think I have everything I need, but there's still something holding me back. I just wish I had 4 Wands. I wish this could all be stable. I wish this could all be the way it used to be. 2 of Wands. Okay, you know what? I actually don't have enough to stay anymore. And now I've actually put one of the wands down and I have this globe in my hand. I just need to get out of here. What that can lead to is you going right back around to Five of Wands and getting back into it with them. With them, with him, with her, with they, with the family, with the boss, with the coworker, with the business partner, with the siblings, with the friends. Wherever the codependency was, it's so easy to go in a loop now and get stuck in that loop until the summer and just be in a horrid mood for the summer. Don't do this to yourself. When you get to that Two of Wands place where you're like, I gotta go now. Perfect. The first place you have to go is not a destination. The first place you have to go is a state of mind. The first place you have to go is total independence. I cannot count on these people for anything. I am the only one I can count on. I am the one who is going to pay my bills. I am the one who is going to keep me safe. I am the one who listens to me and respects me. This truth, judgment, the world, this truth will rock you because so much of your understanding of people and your love for people is based on this idea of like, we respect each other. We love each other. We're there for each other. We're loyal to each other. And the Judgment card is like, where have you been? These people have been trying to control you. They've been using you, bro. The amount of Scorpios who have woken up in this past like 3-4 days and been like, wait, Scorpio rising, I'm talking to you too. Wait, have I been used this whole time? Are they mad at me because they can't use me anymore? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's exactly it. But Judgment in the world is like, this truth hits you so hard because what have I been so loyal to? What have I been doing? I've been putting off, okay, we have the Fool, the Lovers, the Star. I've been putting off falling in love. I've been putting off traveling. I've been putting off doing my own thing. I've been putting off making even more drastic changes because I was trying to fulfill my obligations to you, not realizing that every time you get upset with me, it's not because I'm not fulfilling my obligations, it's because you want more for less. You want more for nothing. Money for nothing, chicks for free. Now, sorry, it's just that every time I hear that line in my head, I say it out loud. It's from a song. Okay. And then we have the Fool, the Lovers, the Star. So just take a look. And like, go with the feeling that it gives you. This is bright. This is lovely. This is exciting. This is, the kind of summer you deserve. Sure, there's some foolishness there. You're not always right in the way that you go about things, but you're right enough to walk off this cliff and not fall. You're right enough. You know enough and still don't know enough to be innocent to most of what has gone on around you. To me here, the Fool is like, wow, this is so much worse than you think it is. Good that you got out. And then there's the Lovers and the Star. Once you free yourself from whatever this is, it's easy to meet people because you're not walking around with this like energetic, just nonsense hanging over you, just constantly feeling down and drained, and because you're giving too much to people who are just taking. They don't give a fuck how much you have to give or not, right? They don't care if they're pulling from an empty well, because that's what makes it so difficult with Scorpios when they're being used. Your well, still deep water, is inexhaustible, right? So even if you can't give anymore, there's still more to give here. Even if you can't do it, there's still this surplus over here that people can see. So they're like, oh, you can't give anymore? Get out of the way. I'll just take it myself. Let me just use you the way that I want. That's a very heavy energy to carry around, and it's not going to attract the right people. So don't run towards anybody. Don't run towards a relationship. Don't run to some mythic port of safety that you feel is out there for you to more at. There isn't. You are your port of safety. And when you feel that, when you make that switch in your head, you will want to leave the nest. You will want to leave where you are. You will want to travel. You will want to do different things. You may change the way you dress. Wait until Mercury retrograde's over. You may want to change your hair. You may want to change, like if you are someone who can work remotely, you may want to change where you live or change where you are for just a few months. Something in you is requiring you to go a little bit. And like I'm saying, the positive way to deal with this is not to run towards something, but to run to yourself. And if you feel like going somewhere, if you feel like traveling, if you feel like changing your environment, your scenery, your hair, whatever, do it. Do it. Because it will be more authentically you. You are finding yourself outside of whatever hierarchy was created around you to basically head you in, because hierarchies are falling apart for you right now. All kinds, at work, in your family, whatever the authority structure used to be is gone. And I think that the reason people are so intimidated by you is because when this sort of artificial hierarchies that we create, when they fall apart, natural leaders tend to come to the forefront. And these are not people that we generally include in the hierarchies. These are usually people who are left out of that. So as the known power structures start to fall apart, power naturally finds itself like water in the hands of like the deepest people. And you happen to be one of those people. So whoever around you is used to having power is like scrambling right now, because when these hierarchies fall apart, people naturally gravitate towards you. Power naturally gravitates towards people like you. So if you've been the whipping boy, the black sheep, the one that everything gets taken out on, now those people are really upset, because why is all the power going to you? And you're just kind of like, well, yeah, I've always been this way. Like, just because I don't flex it in your face doesn't mean that I don't know how to do this, right? That's not going to go over well. Why? Because they're haters. So through this process of finding yourself, freeing yourself, can you meet somebody who's really good for you, wants you to shine, wants you to be center stage? Absolutely, because you have put yourself center stage. So of course, the person that will be attracted to you now will also want that for you. The people we attract are always people who want for us what we secretly want for ourselves. Okay. Now, this to me is really interesting. The King and Queen of Wands with the Empress. So if a lot of your dissolving of hierarchies has to do with your parents, authority figures, faculty, you may find that at the end of this process, you actually have a lot in common with these people, and that your relationship isn't necessarily lost. They just needed you to find yourself and find respect for yourself, to see them as your equal, and for you to see that, for them to see you as an equal before anything could progress. So this to me is actually a really good sign. I feel like you need to do this. You need to break away from the traditional model of what power looks like and what power has looked like in your life. Because nobody wants to give up their power. Nobody wants to share. Nobody wants for you to have any of it. I was going to say for you to have anything, and that just, I stopped myself because it sounds dramatic, but that's actually what I mean. I think sometimes for Scorpios, it's like people don't want you to have more than them, and they already naturally feel like you have so much more than them. Even if you're starting off at equal, they don't feel like they're starting off at zero with you. They don't feel like the baseline is the same for you guys. So you're one of the rare groups of people that, like, it really does feel like others are not happy for you when you win, and they prefer you to be in a role where you're not the center, because if you are the center, it's like you're winning too much. It's like you're getting too much. It's like it's not fair. You can't be pretty and smart and beautiful and well off, and you know what I mean? Like, there's just too many things. Like, you're doing too much. this is the definition of doing too much, and this is exactly what you should be doing, and this is exactly where you're getting to by mid-May. Okay, so now in the extended, we're going to look through my copious notes. I have like 4 pages of astrological notes. We'll take a look at the cards. That will be available on Vimeo. It's already on Patreon, and there's an instant link as well. I am doing personal readings until mid-May, and then I'm going to take a break, and they will be like this, actually, because I feel like you guys prefer it. Okay, that link is below as well. Love you. Let's take a look at these cards.